In the vast stillness between fire and frost, the body whispers truths the mind often forgets. Muscles, those silent instruments of our will, do not merely contract and release. They listen to cold, to heat, to pressure, to silence. They bend to the elements not as victims, but as students learning to endure, to adapt, to transform. What if soreness is not suffering, but a sacred signal, a language through which the body communes with the soul? What if the ache after cold is the body remembering stillness, and the burn of heat its song of awakening? We are not separate from the seasons, we are the seasons. Each shiver and stretch, each tremor and tension, is part of a greater choreography written by something older than time. Today, as we explore the body's dialogue with temperature, we step not into biology alone, but into the living poetry of existence, where even pain has purpose, and every sensation is part of a divine unfolding. When we think about temperature, heat or cold, we often experience it as something external, something happening to us. We enter a cold room and our skin tightens. We step into the sun and we feel our muscles loosen. But what if we paused and really listened to what those moments are trying to tell us? What if temperature isn't just a background condition, but a kind of language, one that speaks directly to our nervous system, our tissues, our perception of the world, and even the way we move through it? The body doesn't lie, it's not interested in small talk or distraction. It responds with precision to what it senses, adapting, protecting, preparing. When we're exposed to cold, the muscles begin to tighten, not arbitrarily, but with deep evolutionary intent. That contraction is the body conserving heat, yes, but it's also an act of self-remembering. It's as if your system is saying, slow down, be still, listen. Blood is redirected inward, toward the core, away from the surface. Muscles become less pliable, less expressive. The world shrinks momentarily and focus sharpens. There's a profound intelligence in that reaction, and it's not just biological, it's deeply symbolic. Cold demands presence. It removes the unnecessary and hones the essential. The cold doesn't negotiate, it simplifies. In that constriction, there's clarity, fewer distractions, more signal, less noise. This is the body in conversation with the environment and with you. Now consider heat. Its invitation is different. Where cold constricts, heat expands. Muscles become more elastic, the nervous system more permissive. Blood rushes outward. There's a softness to it, a kind of generosity. Heat allows the body to unfold, to perform, to play. It's no accident that we stretch in warmth, that we heal better in heat, that we associate comfort with a warm bath, a sunlit walk, a fire-lit room. The body doesn't just tolerate warm, that responds to it, and that response isn't passive, it's communicative. You see, temperature, whether cold or hot, isn't just a setting on a thermostat. It's an experience that the body registers and then transforms into a physiological story. Hormones shift, metabolism changes, electrical activity in muscles responds, pain thresholds adjust. There's a whole symphony of reactions playing out beneath the surface, often unnoticed, but never without meaning. This is where we begin to understand that the body is not merely surviving its environment. It is interpreting it. Muscles are not machines. They are listeners, responders, integrators of experience. They don't act alone. They act in chorus with the nervous system, the endocrine system, the breath, the heart, and all of it is guided by a feedback loop that speaks in the quiet language of sensation. It's a sacred loop, really. Think about what happens during cold exposure. Beyond the muscular tightening, we also see increased norepinephrine release, a neurotransmitter that sharpens focus, elevates alertness, and even lifts mood. It's the body saying, pay attention, this moment matters. There's a reason elite athletes and thinkers alike use cold as a tool, not because it feels good, but because it demands depth. It calls you into the present like few other experiences can. Contrast that with heat. The rise in core temperature increases blood flow, promotes muscle pliability, reduces resistance in connective tissues, but it does more than that. It evokes a sense of openness both physically and emotionally. Serotonin in levels can rise, the parasympathetic nervous system becomes more active. You're not just more relaxed, you're more asterisk available asterisk. That's not a coincidence, that's design. Every moment you spend in discomfort, in the cold, in the heat, is a moment of communication. The body isn't suffering, it's asterisk speaking asterisk. It's recalibrating, it's asking, asterisk, can you meet this moment with presence? Can you endure not out of willpower, but out of reverence for what you are capable of becoming? Asterisk, this shifts our view of training, recovery, and even daily life. Whether you're stepping into an ice bath or a sauna, whether you're walking into winter winds or stretching in summer sun, your body is not resisting life. It is asterisk engaging asterisk with it, actively, intimately, intelligently, and so, the next time you feel that shiver or that sweat bead down your back, pause, don't rush to comfort, listen, observe what's unfolding inside you. Temperature is not just a condition, it's an invitation, one that leads you deeper into the awareness of your own aliveness. The body, in its quiet brilliance, is always trying to teach us something. Cold teaches resilience. Heat teaches release. Together, they remind us that we are not separate from nature. We asterisk our asterisk nature in motion, in adaptation, in continual conversation with the world around us. And the muscles, they're not just moving you through space. They're translating experience into form, into breath, into memory, into meaning. Asterisk asterisk temperature is not your enemy, it's your mirror. Asterisk asterisk, there's something ancient about the cold, not just in its touch, but in what it draws out of us. The moment you step into it, whether it's the bite of early morning air, an ice bath, or a sharp gust slicing through layers, you feel it immediately. The body reacts before thought has a chance to form. Muscles contract, shoulders rise, breath shortens. It's instinctual, primal, and in that instinct there is something deeply revealing. When exposed to cold, the body doesn't panic. It asterisk prioritizes asterisk. It begins a slow, deliberate process of recalibration. Muscles tighten, blood retreats to protect the core, and movement becomes conservative. It's not about weakness, it's about preservation, about intelligence. The body doesn't waste energy when it's cold. It becomes more focused, more economical. This is a sacred stillness, a kind of temporary hibernation that invites the nervous system to ground itself, to feel everything more acutely. Cold asks you to stop rushing. It strips away comfort and demands attention. And when you listen, what you hear isn't suffering. It's refinement. Most of us are conditioned to avoid discomfort. We see shivering, tightness, or resistance as something to fix. But in the cold, those sensations aren't signs of something broken. They're proof that the body is asterisk listening asterisk. Cold isn't chaos. It's order disguised as challenge. And here's the beauty. That contraction of muscle, that internal bracing, that sudden jolt of aliveness. It's not just biological. It's philosophical. It's a rehearsal for resilience. The cold becomes a kind of dojo, where the body practices clarity, endurance, and depth under pressure. The muscular system, in cold, becomes more than tissue and tendon. It becomes a medium for deep communication between you and the environment. It's not reacting randomly, it's organizing itself around a clear message. Asterisk conserve, protect. Endure. Asterisk, and yet, in that very restriction, something extraordinary happens. Your focus sharpens, your breath slows, your mind stops wandering. There is no room for distraction in the cold. The cold asterisk forces presence asterisk. And that presence is a gateway. When we're warm, we often don't notice how freely we move, how casually we stretch, how easily we engage with space. But cold reveals how movement is earned, how fluidity is a privilege. Muscles in cold conditions don't behave as they do in warmth. They resist stretch, they fire differently, they hold more tension. That's not a flaw, that's information. It's the body telling you, asterisk, this moment requires care, asterisk. The nervous system, ever vigilant, lowers the threshold for activation. It becomes more sensitive, more reactive. That means the tiniest motion matters. Every step becomes a negotiation. Every gesture must be intentional. And in that awareness, something shifts. We move not out of habit, but out of asterisk choice, asterisk. Cold teaches you that movement is not something to take for granted. It's something to respect. Even at the cellular level, the body is doing something incredible. Cold exposure triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of more energy, producing components within our cells. Muscles begin to adapt by becoming more efficient. We produce more brown fat, which helps us generate internal heat. Our immune system modulates, inflammation changes. It's as if the body, recognizing the cold, doesn't retreat it, asterisk, levels up, asterisk. But that upgrade doesn't come easily. It comes through that stillness, that muscular bracing, that willingness to stay, asterisk, with asterisk, the discomfort. And this is where the metaphor deepens, because how often in life do we meet resistance? Emotional, physical, existential, and immediately try to escape it. Cold gives us a mirror. It says, stay here, let this moment shape you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. To remind you that silence, tension, and even pain are not the enemy. They are the architects of strength. There is no bravado in the cold, no ego, just presence, just truth. The stillness of cold, the slow contraction of muscle, the narrowing of breath, it's not a weakness, it's a wisdom. It's the body saying, asterisk, wait, observe, learn, asterisk, and in that waiting, we meet ourselves more honestly than we often do in comfort. That's what makes the cold a teacher. It removes all distraction and invites a kind of inner precision. Every tremor becomes a meditation, every breath a negotiation between control and surrender, and over time we adapt. We no longer brace against the cold, we asterisk work with it, asterisk. Muscles that once stiffened begin to anticipate the exposure. Movements become more deliberate, more grounded. The body becomes a better listener, and in doing so, a more capable performer. Cold becomes not just something we endure, but something that forges us. This is how resilience is built, not through constant motion or external validation, but through the quiet, repeated practice of being present in hard moments. The cold teaches us that strength is not just force, it's awareness. It's patience, it's depth. So when you next find yourself in that space, muscles tight, breath sharp, body contracting, don't rush to escape it. Stay, watch what happens. The body is remembering something vital. It's not shutting down, it's waking up to a different kind of intelligence, one that lives in the spaces between movement and stillness, between survival and growth. Asterisk, asterisk, because sometimes the greatest movement happens in the moments we're most still. Asterisk, asterisk. If cold teaches us stillness, heat teaches us release, and that release, fluid, unfolding, expansive, is just as vital to the way we understand the body, the mind, and ultimately ourselves. Where cold contracts and protects, heat opens and offers. Muscles in warmth don't brace. They asterisk breathe, asterisk. They soften, elongate, and express. It's a shift in posture, in physiology, in perception. But more than that, it's a shift in asterisk relationship, asterisk, to movement, to sensation, to life itself. The first thing that happens when heat touches the body is openness. Literally, blood vessels dilate, circulation increases, the nervous system shifts toward a parasympathetic state. There's a sense of invitation, not alarm. You can feel it. Your shoulders lower, your breath deepens, your hands unclench. Heat doesn't demand, it asterisk allows asterisk. And in that allowance, the body doesn't just function better. It asterisk feels asterisk more alive. We often underestimate how deeply our muscles are tied to our emotional state. But if you've ever stretched in a warm room, sat under the sun after a long day, or stepped into a sauna and felt the tightness leave your body almost involuntarily, then you know, warmth is not just a physical phenomenon. It's a deeply felt experience. The muscles are not merely relaxing. They're remembering what it's like to move without fear, without resistance, without constraint. And there's profound intelligence in that. When the body warms, tissues become more pliable, joints more fluid, connective tissues more elastic. But this isn't just mechanical. This is the body in a state of readiness, not survival, not emergency expression. In warmth, we recover faster, we stretch farther, we breathe deeper. Muscles become vessels of possibility, not just protection, and that's an entirely different experience of embodiment. You begin to realize the body wants to move well. It wants to feel connected. Heat is one of the ways we access that state of wholeness, where effort feels like flow, where motion feels like meaning. This is not about performance in the traditional sense. It's about returning to the body's original language, fluidity, grace, adaptability. Heat makes that possible in part through its impact on the nervous system. When you're warm, the sympathetic fight or flight tone drops. The parasympathetic system, the one associated with rest, digestion, and recovery, takes the lead. Your body begins to trust the moment. It releases stored tension, not just in muscle fibers, but in the fascia, in the breath, even in the mind. It's as if your entire system collectively exhales, and in that exhale there's truth, there's repair, there's readiness, and while cold demands presence, heat encourages it. The warm environment doesn't pull your attention sharply, it holds it gently. It says, you're safe to feel everything now. Muscles mirror that invitation. They stop gripping. They start moving more freely. Heat lowers the threshold for contraction, meaning your muscles can activate with less resistance and more nuance. It's not just about being stronger, it's about being smarter in how strength is expressed. This is where the poetry of physiology really starts to emerge. Muscles, when warm, don't just become more functional, they become more articulate. Movements become smoother, transitions become easier, coordination improves. You start to realize that strength is not about how much force you can produce in a moment, but about how seamlessly you can channel force through a body that is awake, aware, and responsive. That responsiveness is something sacred in a world that's constantly pulling us out of our bodies, into thought, into distraction. Heat calls us back. It says, here, feel this. You're not just a thinker, you're a mover, you're a breather, you're a system of rhythms and pulses and flows. And when your muscles start to mirror that rhythm, you feel not just aligned, but alive. Even on the microscopic level, warmth enhances enzyme activity in muscle fibers, improves oxygen delivery, speeds up nutrient exchange, and supports more efficient energy production. This is the physiology of potential, not just recovery, not just prevention expansion. Warm muscles are muscles that trust the body to move with complexity and care. That trust builds confidence, and confidence invites exploration. And this is perhaps the deepest lesson of all. In warmth, we explore. We test boundaries, we lengthen into new ranges, we challenge the known limits of mobility and strength. Because when the body feels safe, it becomes curious. It asks what else can I do? How far can I go not just in performance but in expression? Heat reveals that we are not rigid beings. We are made for movement. We're not meant to be held in a single shape or a single story. We're dynamic, changeable, capable of adapting beautifully when conditions support us. And sometimes the right condition is simply warmth, a space where the body feels held, supported, softened. So yes, the science of heat and muscle function is clear. But it's the experience of it that matters most. That experience of feeling your body loosen, stretch, breathe. The watching tightness melt into movement is profound. It reminds you that you're not just surviving in this body. You're inhabiting it, actively, gratefully, fluidly. The body wants to move freely. It wants to feel good, and warmth, in its quiet way, brings us closer to that possibility. Because when the body is warm, it doesn't just move remembers how to flow. Asterisk asterisk, there's a quiet rhythm inside every one of us, pulsing, cycling, adapting. It doesn't ask for attention, but it's always shaping the way we feel, move, and recover. And that rhythm is your metabolism. It's not just about how fast you burn calories or how much energy you have after a meal. It's a vast, complex symphony of chemical reactions, one that temperature, both cold and heat, influences in beautifully intricate ways. When we step into the cold, metabolism doesn't pause at asterisk, accelerates asterisk. Not in chaos, but in intention. The body senses the drop in external temperature and makes a decision. We need to preserve heat, maintain function, and stay alive. So it fires up its internal engine, mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses inside our cells, ramp up activity. Fat begins to shift forms. White fat, which typically stores energy, can begin to behave more like brown fat, which asterisk burns asterisk energy to generate heat. This transformation isn't minor, it's foundational. It means your body, through cold exposure, is reprogramming itself to be more efficient, more adaptive. Muscles in this state aren't just contracting to conserve. They're participating in the metabolic response. They're helping shuttle energy where it's needed, adjusting how they use fuel, and communicating directly with other systems: cardio, vascular, endocrine, even cognitive. Cold exposure increases levels of norepinephrine, not just to heighten alertness, but to stimulate thermogenesis, the creation of heat from within, and that has a cascade effect. Your metabolism begins to run hotter, leaner, more focused. You're not just burning calories, you're building resilience at a cellular level. This isn't about aesthetics or performance. This is about the body asterisk learning asterisk how to respond to challenge by becoming more efficient, not more frantic. Now, if cold is the spark, heat is the bomb. It doesn't spike the system, it smooths it. But don't mistake smoothness for weakness. Heat, too, has a powerful impact on metabolism, just in a more gentle, restorative way. When your body warms, circulation increases. Blood flow improves. That means more oxygen and nutrients are being delivered to your muscles, more waste products are being cleared away, and your metabolic system can operate with greater clarity. In the heat, muscles become more metabolically active because they're receiving what they need. Glucose is taken up more easily. Insulin sensitivity improves. The metabolic pathways that govern energy production become more fluid, more cooperative. Recovery is faster. Healing is deeper. You're not just recovering from strain. You're asterisk building capacity asterisk for the next one. What's fascinating is how the body uses both states, cold and heat, to balance itself. Think of it like this: cold sharpens, heat nourishes. One prepares you for the demand, the other integrates the lesson. Both stimulate your metabolic system in ways that go far beyond the moment. They change your baseline. They redefine what your body sees as normal. This adaptability is what makes human physiology so incredible. You don't have to be stuck in a fixed metabolic state. You're not a static machine. You're dynamic, evolving, shifting in response to what the world offers you. Temperature becomes a way of asterisk training asterisk that adaptability, of reminding your body that it's capable of more, not just through stress, but through asterisk relationship asterisk to stress. Your muscles are key players in this. They're not just consumers of energy, they're regulators of it. They take cues from the nervous system, yes, but they also give cues back. When muscles are exposed to repeated cold, they begin to produce more mitochondria, more energy factories. They get better at generating internal heat, better at resisting fatigue, better at communicating with hormones that regulate hunger, inflammation, and stress. The same is true for heat. When muscles are warm, they recover faster, regenerate faster. Heat promotes the release of heat shock proteins, molecules that protect cells from stress, support protein folding, and play a key role in muscle repair and longevity. That's not just comfort. That's asterisk resilience encoded at the cellular level asterisk. And it's all happening beneath the surface, often unnoticed, but profoundly meaningful. This is why temperature isn't just something we feel. It's something we asterisk train with asterisk. When used with awareness, cold and heat can become tools, powerful, precise tools, for shifting our biology toward greater capacity, greater efficiency, greater balance. And the more consistently we engage with them, the more our baseline changes. Muscles become more metabolically intelligent. The nervous system becomes less reactive. Inflammation becomes regulated instead of chronic. You're not just moving through life, you're moving asterisk with asterisk life in real-time collaboration. And here's where this becomes more than just science. This is about honoring the wisdom of the body. It knows how to adapt, it knows how to heal, but it needs the right signals and temperature. Cold, heat, the transitions between them, are among the most ancient, most trustworthy signals we have. They bypass thought. They go directly to the systems that keep us alive, awake, and aligned. So the next time you step into the cold or immerse yourself in warmth, don't think of it as recovery or training or even self-care. Think of it as a conversation. Your body is listening, your muscles are listening, and in those moments, when metabolism shifts, when tension melts, when breath steadies, you're not just adapting. Asterisk, asterisk, you're becoming more of what you were designed to be. Asterisk, asterisk, there's a moment, often subtle, easily missed, when the body starts to feel unfamiliar, a tightness that wasn't there before, a tremble, a hesitation, a delay in motion. And we wonder, is this fatigue, is this injury, or is it simply the body's quiet way of asking us to pay attention? Cold and heat shape the body, yes, but they also shape how we listen to it, how we interpret its signals. And more than that, how we respond. The interplay between muscle performance and injury risk under different temperature conditions isn't just a biomechanical issue. It's a conversation between stress, awareness, and adaptation. In the cold, the muscles whisper first, a little stiffness in the joints, a reduced range of motion. The neural signals traveling from brain to muscle slow ever so slightly. It's not dramatic, but it matters. The cold environment increases viscosity in the synovial fluid that lubricates joints and slows the elasticity of connective tissue. Tendons become less forgiving. Ligaments hold tighter. The muscles themselves lose some of their pliability. And with all of that, the margin for error narrows. A sprint, a jump, a fast movement. What might feel effortless in warmth suddenly becomes high stakes, because in cold, your body is no longer just performing. It's protecting, and protection often means resistance, which means that unless we prepare the body with awareness, through warming up, through movement, through breath, we risk injury not because we're weak, but because we're asterisk unaware asterisk. Injuries in the cold are more likely not because cold is dangerous in itself, but because cold requires us to be deliberate. It reveals where we've skipped steps. It reveals where the body isn't yet ready. And that's not a warning, it's a gift, because it teaches us to be in dialogue with our physiology, to move not out of habit, but out of deep listening. Now, heat tells a different story. It can feel like freedom. Muscles feel open, responsive. Movement flows, but there's a shadow to that too. In the heat, we sometimes go too far. Overconfidence replaces caution. Endurance feels endless, until it's not. Muscles may be more elastic, but they're also under greater physiological strain. Dehydration creeps in. Electrolyte imbalances start to interfere with nerve conduction. The body is doing more work than it feels like, because heat lowers our perception of exertion while increasing our actual load. It's in this deceptive comfort that injury risk hides, not in the tightness of cold, but in the illusion of ease. The tissue might be more forgiving, but the system is under pressure. Heat increases metabolic demand, and the more demand you place on your muscles, the closer they move toward failure, especially if the nervous system is lagging behind in signaling fatigue. What's fascinating, though, is how both cold and heat illuminate different aspects of safety and injury, not by creating risk, but by teaching us to respect context. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to movement. A body warmed by heat is not the same as a body that's cold and cautious, and neither is better. What matters is the awareness we bring into the space. The truth is, most injuries don't come from big moments. They come from tiny gaps in awareness. An ankle turned when focus slipped, a back strained when tension was ignored, and those gaps widen when we disconnect from the present. Cold brings a forced stillness, heat brings a deceptive freedom, and both are opportunities to return to presence. To remember that every movement is a conversation with gravity, with temperature, with history. And here's where muscles become more than just tissues. They become storytellers. Every tightness, every spasm, every fluid motion, they're all language, they're all telling you something, and cold and heat don't write new stories, they highlight the ones already unfolding. The stories of old injuries, unresolved tension, untrained movement patterns. Temperature doesn't create dysfunction. It reveals it. This is why recovery matters just as much as performance, why regulation is as important as activation. If cold contracts and heat expands, then recovery integrates . It's what allows the nervous system to process challenge and rebuild trust in the body. And without that trust, even the strongest muscles become fragile. That's the paradox. Strength without awareness is brittle. Flexibility without boundaries is chaotic. Injury happens when those extremes go unbalanced. But when we engage with cold and heat as teachers, not just tools, the body begins to rewire its own intuition. We don't just reduce injury, we increase intelligence, somatic intelligence, the kind that doesn't rely on data or devices, but on deep, lived-in understanding. That's what makes injury prevention so profound. It's not just about avoiding harm. It's about embodying wisdom, learning when to move forward and when to slow down, when to push and when to listen. And in that balance, we don't just protect ourselves. We elevate how we show up in the world. So whether you're stepping into an ice bath or finishing a session under the summer sun, ask yourself, not just what did my muscles do today, but what did they learn? Because the real measure of strength isn't what your body can endure, it's what it can understand and respond to with care. In the end, the most injury-resistant body is not the strongest or the most flexible. It's the one that listens before it moves.